Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a little bit of a different video this time. This time in particular, I will actually be talking about the headlamps that I have. And I said headlamps because I actually have two of them. And part of this is something that I guess has taken place over time. And I started to finally put two and two together and realize like something might be amiss with my headlamps. And this all started realistically back when I did my Mount Washington hike in the White Mountains for the very first time. And I brought brand new batteries with it, and for some reason, I was very disappointed in the length of the battery life. But I was very surprised by how weak the flash was, or the beam was. Then it happened again when I did the Kinsman trip. I was really disappointed by the battery life with that one. As a matter of fact, the batteries ended up being dead. I packed it up like a week or two before, anticipating to go, waiting for the weather to break, and then when it broke, I went. And I had the batteries in the headlamp ready to go with me, the new batteries in the headlamp. Further away, and it's getting pretty dark out, and my lamps are not fully charged, or the batteries are practically dead in them for some reason. I did find out that my batteries are in my headlamp are actually dead. But it really hit me when I did the Moosilauke hike. And the Moosilauke hike, very similar. I got up early. I was going to start hiking. Well, I was hoping to get up there before the sunset, so I figured, or before the sunrise. So I brought my headlamp with me. I brought this one, the Pretzel or Princeton Tech, but it's the Viz headlamp. And I brought this with me. I loaded up with fresh, brand new batteries. And I didn't even use it because by the time I got there, if you watch the video, it was pretty much light enough out that you could see without having to use a headlamp. So I never used the batteries, and I kept them in here for about 2 or 3 weeks until I did another hike in the White Mountains, which ended up being the Eisenhower and Monroe hike. And if you notice on the Eisenhower and Monroe hike, I have a new headlamp, and that's because when I went to this one, now keep in mind, I had fresh, brand new. They were only in there for 2 or 3 weeks at the most. And when I went to turn this on, the batteries were dead. So I'm thinking back on my previous hikes where I was complaining about the lack of light sources, like with my Kinsman hike, or when I was complaining about the Mount Washington trip. Internally, it's not in the video, but internally I was like, why is the battery beam so weak with this thing? And it's making me think that there's something amiss or like a defect in this particular headlamp where when I put new batteries in it, that maybe it just constantly drains regardless of if it being on or not. At least that's my thought. So today I'm going to try this theory out. You did notice probably on the Eisenhower and the Monroe hike, I had a brand new headlamp. I have the Black Diamond Spot headlamp. And so far, I haven't had any issues with this. It's lasted hours and hours and hours. As a matter of fact, this one also has a pretty unique advantage to it because it has the dual fuel source. So you can actually buy a little rechargeable battery pack that you have, and you can bring this with you and recharge it. But I like that you have this option, and then you can have batteries as the backup. So today, I'm going to put 3 brand new batteries into this. I'm also going to put 3 brand new batteries into this, and I'm just going to let it sit here for 2 or 3 weeks. Now, if I decide to go on a hike, I'm just going to take this one with me. I trust this one. I haven't had any light issues with this one. The battery pack has been absolutely fine. When I did my last hike, which that video will be out, if it's not out already, by the time I post this video, it will be out very soon. And that was up to Flume and Liberty. Okay, so here we go. This is the Black Diamond one. I really do like the fact that that has a rechargeable battery pack. 3 brand new batteries going into the Viz. I don't know if you can actually see this, but today is Halloween. It is about noon. It's lunchtime on October 31st. And we are going to see if it works. Okay. So it works fine. So let's see what that is like in the next coming days, and we'll go from there. Okay, here we are, day 2. It's about 1:50. Still really bright. It is day 17, so we are going to try out the two lights, the two headlamps. And as you can see, this one is super bright as normal, hasn't really changed at all the whole entire time. However, the Viz one has gotten significantly weaker. You can barely even see the beam. Just as a comparison, this is the Viz right now in the corner. You can barely even see it on the ground versus the Black Diamond, which is super bright. So if you put them next to each other on the ground here, you can see the significant difference in them. So to me, that pretty much confirms the fact that for some reason, this one, when you leave batteries in it, it tends to drain them, and I don't know why. So I guess that's a note for myself is if you pick this one up, I don't know if there's something wrong with this one or if that's just part of the design, which would be kind of weird to have that as part of the design, but I guess it's conceivable. Or if there's just something wrong with this. But that's something good to note. So like I said before, I typically don't leave batteries in them over the season, but if I know I'm going for another hike in a couple weeks, I will tend to leave the batteries in, thinking that they didn't drain. But apparently, at least with this specific headlamp, they do drain. Anyway, good to know. All right, guys. Catch you in the next one.